So the Futurama reboot is happening, and it will be happening on Hulu. We will get to see 20 new episodes for the upcoming season, which will be debuting in 2023. Look, I've been hearing rumblings about this show for 6 months, and it was kind of like the King of the Hill reboot. It seemed like a plausible thing, but it didn't really seem like, okay, how's it going to work in 2022? And are they really going to reboot a show for what, the third time or fourth time now? So, I mean, it's odd that Futurama gets this many chances, but it's been successful each chance, which is the odd thing to think about when you look at a show like, I don't know, Family Guy or The Simpsons, which, to be fair, even if you're a fan of those, you got to realize, hey, they're not what they used to be. But yet they still keep new seasons going and going and going. It just seems like an endless thing. What Simpsons is on? Simpsons is on what, season 30 something, and you've got Family Guy on like what, 18, 19. So I mean, you've got these shows that just continue their runs, and then you've got, on the other hand, you've got a show like Futurama, which, like I said, has been successful on many different channels. And yet it keeps getting canceled and then rebooted. Now, I felt like the last time that it got canceled, I felt like that was going to be the last time we'd ever see Futurama because it gave us a satisfying ending. And you know what? If it had never come back on air, I would have been happy with it. Because, like I said, it felt like it had run its course. um, but at the same time, it's one of those shows that every time you think it's run its course, it will give you 20 more classic episodes. And hopefully, this Hulu reboot will do the same. But let's go ahead and let's read a little bit about it. It says nearly 10 years after it signed off, which is amazing to think of. 10 years. It's been 10 years. Futurama has been revived for a 20 episode run on Hulu, the third platform for the animated comedy from creators Matt Groening and David X. Cohen. The series had aired its first 5 seasons on Fox before being revived for 3 more at Comedy Central. Will return to production this month for a 2023 premiere. Following an extended deal making period, original stars Billy West, who plays Fry, Katie Seagal, who's the voice of Leela, along with ensemble players who voice multiple characters: Tress MacNeille, Maurice LaMarche, Lauren Tom, Bill Lamar, and David Herman will all return. John DiMaggio, who provided the voice behind the wisecracking robot with the shiny metal ass Bender, is finalizing a deal to return as well, though it is not yet closed. Now, I've heard John DiMaggio when it comes in the past. He's wanted a reboot of this show. He was up to it. So it doesn't shock me that he's going to be signing on, and it doesn't worry me that he hasn't already fully and totally signed on to this show because I think he'll be all in on it. It says, I'm thrilled to have another chance to think about the future or really anything other than the present, Cohen said, added groaning. It's a true honor to announce the triumphant return of Futurama one more time before we get canceled abruptly again, which could very well happen no matter how good it is. This show always seems to find its way canceled. Futurama was created by this, and it just basically just goes on to state about all the different times that it was canceled and then brought back. Hey, you know what? This show has a pretty big shelf life, and it's one of those that you can rewatch the episodes a million times and still find them funny. The characters never get old. They're brilliant characters. They truly, really are. Um, so you know what? I think it's going to be successful again. I really do. I think I wasn't a huge fan of Hulu's Animaniacs when they brought that back. I felt like it didn't have the original magic of the original series, even though it brought back a lot of the characters that we knew and loved, from our childhood. Now, like I said, I totally get those are two completely separate kind of shows, but I kind of feel like Just because you're bringing back the original cast doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to have the same magic it was did before. But when it comes to Futurama, we've actually got evidence that that actually will happen. And that was the last time it was rebooted and it come back on Comedy Central, and it was again a success, and it felt like it just picked off right where it left off. I hope that it does this go around. Again, I'm hoping upon hope that the same happens for King of the Hill reboot. I don't know how it's going to work with King of the Hill, but at least with Futurama, we have an idea of whether or not it can work. And it has worked in the past, being rebooted. And so, hey, who's to say it won't? Lightning won't strike twice, three times. But let's just pray it has a longer lifespan this go around. Don't just give us one season. Give us two or three minimum. Uh, I would say maybe going into like a fifth season would be way too much for this show. You don't want it to go on like The Simpsons. Let it go off while fans love the quality of it. But I think overall, I think if you give it at least two or three seasons of this, I think fans will look back on this and be very thankful to Hulu. And of course, Hulu is trying to find a fan base, among these streaming services. You've got HBO Max and you've got Disney Plus with all this exciting material that's coming out. Disney Plus with Star Wars and of course Marvel, and then you got HBO Max when it comes to DC. So I mean, you've got all of these interesting streaming platforms out there, and then you've got Hulu, which kind of seems lost in the fray because it doesn't really have, the noted, nuanced shows, kind of like some of these others do. Even Netflix has those. But this might be it. This might be the show that maybe puts Hulu up there, maybe again, in, like the top streaming platforms. Even though Hulu does have a substantial library of shows, which really keeps it going. But now, it needs something. It needs something new, unique, to really draw in new fans. Because look, I can find many of those episodes on other platforms as well, so I don't necessarily need Hulu. With Futurama reboot, I would need it. I would want it. I would be excited to pay money for a Hulu subscription. But anyways, guys, let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Y'all excited for it a third time around? Do you think the reboot will work for the third time? Or do you feel like maybe, just maybe, it should have stayed canceled? But since we did have really the perfect ending at the end of the last time it got canceled, let me know in the comments down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to catch us not only just on YouTube, but on Rumble and on Minds as well. And please like and subscribe our channel. It really helps us stay competitive with the larger channels out there and helps us to grow and maintain video and keep doing videos like this. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Y'all take care.